The grasslands of eastern Colorado, where cattle traditionally grazed, have become some of the biggest corn farms in the country. And corn has replaced grass as the principal feed for cattle.
The mass production of corn drives the mass production of animal protein in confined operations. And you gotta have cheap feed to do the confinements.
That's my brand. I just sold these to the feedlot in March. You know, I really don't have many other alternatives.
At Sue Jarrett's cow-calf operation, we saw how cattle are raised before they go to the feedlot, eating grass on the open range. When Sue's father ran the ranch, cattle spent almost all their lives eating grass, and it took several years to reach market weight. But in recent years, cattle have begun spending more and more of their lives in feedlots.
They put on weight faster if you don't let them move. So total confinement, less space for movement. They eat continually, and you get them into the market, into the food chain. But cattle were not meant to be on a corn-fed diet for that long. You know, we used to feed them 60, 90 days was one thing. Up to 120, you could make it. You start really pushing cattle on a corn-based diet after that, the ulcers and the stomachs don't take it well, and they start getting sick.
So this is just a hole in the stomach here?
Scientists researching the effects of feeding corn to cattle have developed a method of looking into their actual stomachs during digestion.
It's very warm and it's pretty packed in there.
100 years ago, most cattle probably were fed grass, hay, and they were out grazing. We've gone from really feeding no grain to rations now that contain up to 90% grain. But these animals evolved not in feeding these high starch or things like corn. And you feed a lot of corn, more acid's produced, and the animal can get into trouble. Corn in this environment produces these acids, the pH drops, and then they succumb to a condition we call acidosis. And if it's not treated, the animal dies.